Oh, there we go. Hello everyone. Sorry, today's a bit harried and time kind of just about got away from me, but we have the stream set up. Everything should be all to go. And we can resume our Stellaris playthrough from the last time that we were here. So, let's get back into the game and we can see where we were. So, I admit, I have been a bit impatient when it comes to actually playing Nemesis, so if you see a second save game here, no worries, that's just one that I've been playing on my own, like outside of streaming. This also means that some of the achievements that have been released with Nemesis may not pop with our stream because, well, I've popped them with my personal playthrough. But anyway, we can go back to the Kroll Empire. Let's load that and remind ourselves where we were. Now, what I remember from last time is that we ended up in a war against two empires at the same time because one of them decided to bring a friend along, but we managed to fight that back. And today, part of what we are going to be doing is reinforcing our borders, building up our navy, and hopefully we won't get well, we won't get attacked too much on this stream. So let's go around, let's have a quick check on everything. You were investigating a couple of new empires, species that we had found. So I can close that. We have an archaeological site that was completely discovered, so we can close that. Fleet's been recovered and we have some debris that was analysed. Okay, good. So what else are my science ships doing? You are researching the signs of Cyberx activity there, and you will be going along to the Cyberx listening post in a bit. And you are going through and just clearing out all the debris. Okay, so we have our construction ship here, and this is a slightly awkward place because when we're zoomed out it looks like there's a connection between these two, but no, there is not. So we have 325 influence and all of these areas have been scanned, so let's just send you out. Do we actually have... Okay, yes. Getting a bit confused because my personal playthrough, obviously all of the starbase costs were higher, but well, let's just send that off and start building up our empire that way.
Gravel recovered.
Okay, who are these that are trying to make their way through my empire? The Mandasuras again. Do I have you as... well, I've certainly... yes, I do have you as a rival. So what I am going to do... Boo. Boo. I cannot close my borders against them. Yay, so we have So the Raxacodium envoy has been exasperatingly tiresome in their efforts to represent Raxacodium interests. They have shown unremitting hostility towards the bandit. Are we called the Bandit Kingdom? Are we, like, seriously, are we just called the Bandit Kingdom? Yes, we are. I can see it right there, the Bandit Kingdom. This government is organised like a massive crime syndicate. Okay, I forgot or didn't realise about that. Anyway, so great an irritation has they been that few would weep to see the back of them, and we've heard whispers that a group of Kroll loyalists are planning to expedite their demise. So we will not stoop to such measures, snuff out the plot, we gain minus 30 influence. Or let's be rid of this troublesome envoy. So envoy disappearances modifier, minus 10% diplomatic weight, protected our interests modifier for 120 months, plus 15% faction approval, though the Raxacodium dislikes us by minus 50 and their envoy dies. Well, I mean, they probably don't really like us that much, so minus 412. That wouldn't even send them into the next one anyway, so yeah, let's just get rid of them. Espionage, we are not doing anything because we are investigating those two other new civs down here.
Construction complete.
And that was good timing. That just finished building, so we can now go forth and colonize. Well, in a month's time when we have enough alloys to do so anyway. Data analysed.
Special project complete.
First contact, Cyberx artifact. So, our efforts to capture the exploratory vessel of the Iota Menace have ended in failure. They managed to elude our capture and escape the system. Well, that's a negative event, but we can still progress on, so again, we'll continue and see where that leads us.
Construction complete. Gravel recovered.
Okay, so I was honestly just waiting for the destroyers to be researched, so a bit more debris and first contact. So the Iota Menace, so this is the one that we had just a moment ago where they evaded. So our efforts to decipher the signals have paid off. We finally made the breakthrough. While our mastery of the language may not be complete, we have managed to identify them as the Council of Rule Hubba and are now able to communicate with them.
Communications established with potentially softer life form.
Oh, they're quite cute. They're quite cute. A theoretical oligarchy and evangelizing zealots. So we're not going to get along. They're authoritarian and fanatical spiritualist. So, Yes, let's be neutral but cautious. So that one's been done, so I could probably send that envoy back over here. And I am really, really starting to appreciate the need to pick a diplomacy / species that allows you for additional envoys. So we have both the naval capacity and destroyers unlocked. So let's see, improved production. I don't think I've seen that before, so that might very well be something new for the 3.0 update. But I think starboard capacity, we're 4 out of 6, we're okay on that. Leader lifespan plus 10 years is okay. I mean, we are venerable. Anyway, or... no, that's my other species, so... Oh no, wait. Lithoid, leader lifespan plus 50. So if I take that, that is a 20% increase on our base. So, okay, yes, I will go for that for there. And because of the battle, we do have a tiny bit of partially researched. And as much as I would like to have the Starhold, I'm going to go for the ceramo metallic armor. And then I'm aware that I've got an employment on one of my planets. We'll just wait for the month to tick over so we can do that, get the moats, and then okay, yeah, physics research, do that, build up all of our mining stations, get more annoyed at the Mantisaurus because they keep on claiming our territory. And that is the one we've already had. Okay, close that, close that. I keep on forgetting where you are. Okay. Go explore some more. You up here. Research that. So we can hopefully start making our way towards the precursors, Cybrex, and get that done. How many? Okay, we only have one Cybrex artifact, but we do have 99 minor artifacts, so if it comes to it, we could or use a few of those to find or give us a hint towards the next artifact. For that, habitable world surveyed 6 out of 8, so ideally we'd want to find a couple more down here, but yeah, they're going to be bordering at least this area quite soon. So we have managed to spawn in an area that's got a decent amount of space. And I just want to check, yeah, I thought so. This area is probably going to have the ancient mining drones in it that are going to attack as soon as someone comes in. Oops, that was not the right button. I don't want to exit, I want to go back to the main map. Yeah, that is, I'm going to have to effectively hold that as some sort of choke point and hopefully build up my fleets and manage to have them intervene when the mining drones wake up, so we are not needlessly outclassed, outnumbered, outgunned, outarmoured, all of those good things.
Gravel recovered. System geology charted. Construction complete.
The Mandosaurs are really annoying me. So I know why they're coming in here, because I blocked off my borders so quickly that they weren't able to come through and start investigating this. But because one of the terms of the war is that I can no longer close my borders to them, then they're coming through and investigating all of this area to see if there's anything good and if they should try and snipe it away from me, which I'm really hoping they do not, because there is a lot of good stuff that I want here. Okay, so that's another Cyberx artifact found, some more engineering research. And you are my archaeologist with a spark of genius. You are the one that researches all the anomalies, okay, and you are the one that basically finds all of the anomalies. Right. Especially seeing as you have the maimed trait, I'm just going to send you back to our homeworld and assist research, because I'm not sure there's really anything much you could do. I mean, I could send you off to investigate the anomalies, but I'd honestly rather have the scientist that actually has that as a specialty do that. So if I go through and set you up to investigate, and down there and up here, and then down there, and we will finish down here for the time being. The drop pods surrounding F-Chasan the 6th have been drifting powerless for quite some time. Oh yes, I had this on my other playthrough. So we are xenophobes, so as much as it pains me, we don't have time for this. New engineering research, and yes, okay, destroyer build costs.
Accretion complete. System geology charted.
Well, that was some bad timing. Realised that apparently I didn't actually have someone assigned to this, so went and did it, and just before I put our way up, it's like, one of our vessels has been seized. The Kappa Menace seized our vessel, landing a boarding party before emergency FTL could be engaged. Despite our crew's valiant efforts, the attackers, a fungoid alien species, were able to overwhelm our defences. So, yikes. not good. So that's basically our science ship gone, and if they've been acting like I have, then yes, that scientist is dead and that ship is gone.
Construction complete.
Okay, it has quickly become apparent that the so-called Kappa Menace are in fact part of a major spacefaring civilization. Well, I mean, yes, the fact that they managed to nab one of our ships is probably quite telling of that, thank you. Our probes see the Akalinder system of detected starships flitting between a number of space stations across the system, and there is a large military station near the system star that seems to act much like the outpost we built in the systems we claim. We have been able to intercept considerable volumes of communications traffic, but so far accurate translations have proven elusive. So do we nab some of them for close investigation, interpreted as a hostile action, or say this is just worrying? Well, let's try and nab some for a closer investigation, shall we? And damn it, Mandosaurus, stop claiming all of my systems. We are seriously going to have to do something about them, because this is really starting to aggravate me. I might actually go and change my focus from here to up here, just so I can get rid of them. I don't think I've seen this before. Oh, improbable ceramics. Okay, I think I've vaguely heard about this, and I think it is a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. So, yes, yes, let us send someone there to investigate the falling ceramic. And our first contact log. So, Kappa Menace. A brave team of covert special forces have escaped Kappa Menace territory with a captured cargo vessel they intercepted in the Akalinder system. Along with the ship's crew, which was largely taken alive, much of the vessel's hardware and computer systems were also spared major damage. Though the operation went without a hitch and our operatives were able to escape without pursuit, it's probably too much to hope for that the Kappa Menace remain ignorant of our actions. So we can either interrogate the hostages. Our fleets in their territory have fled to avoid reprisals. I don't think we actually had anything in there, but... And... yeah, okay. We've been doing vivisections for pretty much everyone else. Why stop now? Okay, we have a new tradition we can accept. So we'll just continue down the supremacy tree and fill that one out.
Accretion complete.
Okay, we have concluded our study of the Kappa Menace aliens we recently captured. The hostages proved unwilling to cooperate with us, but this became a moot point as we began to cut them open. We now know much about the internal function of their ACSI, I'm not quite sure on that, sensory hyphae, grippers and other body parts. So, driven to terror by the cruelty of our actions, a handful of the aliens, who we now know to be Ryubans, cooperated with us as we sought to translate their knowledge and access their computer systems. So we've gained 50% towards eco-stimulation,
An alien empire has
which
established communication.
I'm not sure if I've ever encountered before. So anyway, cautious but to neutral, and that ends that. And I can send someone back here to investigate and start getting things through, and hopefully start getting a bit more information about them.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Special project complete.
Okay, so extra dimensional insights gives us plus 15% research speed for the next 2 years, which should hopefully be a nice bump up. And basically I am just waiting for the destroyer build speed plus 25% and destroyer build cost minus 5% to click through, and then we can hopefully start reinforcing our fleets. Let's see how the market is doing. I could start potentially setting up trades here, because we are, yeah, sell $40 minerals a month. We don't have any food that we need to buy or can sell, and we are getting, well, soon we'll be getting 3 volatile motes a month and 1 rare crystal. So if I just set this up, sell 1 of that and sell 1 of that for the time being, because we're currently in a situation where we have no real need for any of that. And then now we'll set up a monthly trade on this for 24 with a maximum of 6, and we'll let that run for a month or 2 and just see where our well, finances / energy credits are. And we have finished the gather intel on the Mandasuras, so this has not really given us anything more. We're still potentially quite outdated on the military intel.
Innovation rollout.
Oh, and there we go. That's our destroyers now done. So, what do we have? What do we have? Okay, I'll go for coil gun. And I know I just said that we were going to be building our destroyers once that came through, but I think I will wait for the coil gun. Just wait for that next technology to filter through, and then we can consider building up our fleets. So, one of our administrators on Tiaoko has carelessly misplaced a bunch of sensitive materials, including an encryption key. Oh no, that's oh no, where are you? That's not good. So I can either say curses, so encryption -2, or fire them at once. So administrator on our capital is fired and demoted. Lost encryption key modifier added for 5 months. And lose 250 energy credits, and we have just ticked into the red on that. So I will just say curses and change that by a few less alloys every month. Yep, our energy credits are back into the red. Okay.
Construction complete. Growing colony lattice. Research complete.
Okay, and there we go. Okay, gas extraction wells, very much so. Okay, that's what eco-stimulation is. It's just one of the food ones. I'll go for the Defence Army one. Even though the Society Research one is there, I think we should probably be focusing a tiny bit on actually making sure we have some defences. So anyway, ship designer, I do have all of this auto set, so this should be just using the absolute best that it can. However, I will change this over so we have some strike craft, another improved deflector, and some armour. Cancel the auto generate. Okay, that is not letting me do that. So let's just flick back. Do that. Do that again. Okay, no, you're just being fussy today. Alright, never mind. But anyway, this does mean if I drop this back down, and let's add our first destroyers in. So we can add 8 there. Add 8 there. Let's make that to okay, so we can have 14 destroyers and 1 corvette that I'm not going to bother with when that one gets destroyed, and 15 corvettes with 8 cruisers, so we need 4,283 alloys to be able to do that, and I think we unfortunately once again need to sit tight and just let that tick through. So if in the meantime I just upgrade all of these corvettes, then we can reinforce with as many ships as we can. And yes, you are indeed parked at Katana Station, which is where you should be. You're at Laswan Station, which again is where you should be. And next time we get some more naval capacity, that will go into a 3rd fleet that will probably either actually, yes, that's why I didn't go for that one, because there are 2 entry points into it, so we might as well stay back more here, and that can be our trick point from the northwest.
Ships upgraded.
Right, okay, so new physics research. Now, it would have been tempting just before I set those two colonies up to go for the colony development speed. But again, as we have some research credits towards it, I think we're going to be going for the UV laser, and potentially, if I just have a quick look, yep, we're going to be jumping up at least one level on that. So, Nefri's Pride. The armed vessel discovered in orbit is an abandoned military spacecraft. Light frame and evasion hardware suggests it was built for long distance patrol missions, retrofitted into a long range stealth bomber. So we can either send a science crew to the lab, or we can say we have no need for such a weapon. Well, seeing as our fleet is quite low, yes, let's send someone over to it. And where is it? It is right up there. Okay. That was very convenient, seems we had a science ship right there ready to go.
Establishing lithosphere.
A monthly trade price, too high or too low? Yep, that's probably the alloys. And let's have a look around at our intelligence levels, see if we've got any updates or changes to that.
Construction complete.
So this is still saying that our current intel maximum of 33, okay. And our infiltration level is 33 out of 45. So at the next level. So as soon as that, so the highest we can go on this is 45, so which means we could go all the way up to Sabotage Starbase, but I think might go for extort favours, and I don't think that has any impact on going to war, but maybe we can see if they can be persuaded to do a few things that are in our favour. So our scientists have returned from the Zevan labs. Yes, the invisible, potentially biological weapon. So, but here there is dismay, the box is empty. Only minutes later, the rebels can be seen writhing on the floor in intense agony. Matter continues to expand, swirling hypnotically around them until one of the scientists activates the emergency system. Sprinklers douse the room in liquid, and an electrical surge passes through, executing all living things. So, we do gain a bit of research into superfluid materials, which, unlike last time, I am going to have a very quick look into, which is, that's nice, that's the third level of engineering research. So for the moment we will just go back onto the gas extraction wells and wait for that to complete. Now, I have construction ships, that one's not doing anything, you are busy trying to build up all of those areas. Oh, the Rayobs have stretched quite far away, but I suppose that's probably about as much as we have, so equivalency. So I don't really want to acquire another asset because we well, don't really necessarily have a need for it. But oh, we just ticked over to 35. Okay, so yep, extort favours. That was the fox like one, and we will launch that and see how that goes. And we also still have our spy on here, so we do not have an asset for this one. So instead, let's see if we can try and grab one. Okay, Porviga Mercantile Union have decided that we cannot exist anymore. Anyway, the Mandasora Collective has just been alerted to our presence. It seems we lack sufficient intelligence on the local area, and our operatives have earned the attention of local hunter-seeker drones. Operation Extort Favours is not truly jeopardised yet, but Spymaster Odfun Lautun requires speedy assistance, so the event A Diplomatic Solution happens in 4 days' time. And let's have a look at our war. So, thankfully, it doesn't look like anyone else has decided to come in, but they have considered that they want to take some of our territory. So if I actually just check, I wasn't actually aware that they had any claims on our systems. Okay, so they've put a claim onto Lazon. Nothing there, nothing there. Claimed by Mandasuras. Yeah, okay, basically they're just trying to go for this one territory. So again, if we just set our war goal as the animosity one, set that. So yeah, they've basically just gone to war for one territory, but we will have to be careful and make sure that the Mandasuras don't decide that they suddenly want to come and look. Okay, once again, let's put in a couple of hangar bays up there and a target uplink computer in Lazon. We can't put up any defences, at least not immediately anyway. So Spymaster Utfun Lautun and their colleagues have smoothed over all that. Very diplomatic, very, very nice. Our operative's awkward intrusion into the Mandasora Collective. It's possible that in private the Mandasora Collective sees our excuses for the pack of lies they are. As far as outward appearances are concerned, however, we are considered to be in the clear. For you. Right. So we've got eyes on this. We know you've got a construction ship there. But all we know is that your fleet power is superior to ours. And our espionage levels are going down. See, again, they've got slightly annoying things. It's like we can push 2 territories in, but other than that, they've got so many interconnected pathways that I would honestly want to push down to Sapir in order to have any kind of decent choke point. And in that case, if we're that far down, we might as well just take the whole territory and border the Rayobs again. But our empire, or our galaxy view, is looking very empty because all of our intelligence, we only know about these guys. It's like we can't really communicate with anyone else. So let's actually see the Rayobs. So if we were a bit more diplomatic, we could potentially learn about at least one. Yeah, probably one more. We don't really know anything that they don't. 7 there. Same there. Yeah, basically it might be that there is actually a gap of influence over here, and we have no idea what's going in like the other 5-6 of the galaxy, because we're all focused on our own little bits here, our own little wars and territory disputes, which is quite interesting when I think about it, because it does give, like, at least to me, a wider sense of like the world going on around you. It's a bit like when I would play Crusader Kings 2 and I would be a count or a duke in like a tiny little bit of territory, and I'd be fighting and fighting, doing diplomatic actions, marrying off kids to try and form non-aggression pacts and alliances, and then I'd zoom out to the world at large and it's like, oh, okay, the Byzantine Empire has completely exploded, France has taken over the British Isles, and the Mongols are raging through the east of the map. But I don't know about that because I'm just this tiny little duke in this tiny little bit of territory. So anyway, we have a fair amount of influence, so we could probably actually put down our claims for these two systems. And 90 influence, and let's send our fleets in. Oh, and just as I say that, oh, 2000. Okay, nope. Stay up here. Stay here. Stay behind the starbase. Play it safe, play it cool. This does not have any kind of hangar. Shipyard, that's the word I wanted. Okay, and a couple of new territories. So let's just see here. Can we see in? Yes, we can, but they seem to be completely standing still, which works fine for me, because if we both stand still and all of our war exhaustion goes to 100%, then it's an automatic white piece, I believe, and nothing happens. Okay, so I've chosen to reinforce from that, so where are those coming from? Oh, Katana has a shipyard that is producing 3 ships. And the Kosh Katana, which is pretty much at our home system, is producing another 2, which is not fantastic, but okay. Mandasura operatives are actively working to identify and pursue leads that could potentially be used to gain favours. Okay, fine. Keep going. And for the United Raxicodiums, our deep cover operatives have stepped up their surveillance on potential targets. Okay, as you are. Fleets moving in to reinforce. Hopefully that's not going to take too long to get here. And yes, I'm well aware that in this instance my face is blocking the war, the little war icons, but I thought it was better to be over here blocking that than it was the other way, where it was blocking all of the fleet info and the battle systems. So are they still? Yes, they are still staying still. So unfortunately I would not be fast enough to try and send in someone to, well, activate them, for lack of a better word, then escape out and get them to come over to Lazon. New technology, we have our gas extraction wells, and of course I'm going to have to go for that. It's going to take 95 months, but it's going to benefit us so much in the long term. You do not have anything to do. You could probably come up here, build a mining station, and we could probably sell off. Actually, if we go back here, volatile motes, if we sell that. So we're basically staying even on the rare crystals, but as soon as we need any of those, or look like we might need them, then obviously I can cancel that trade and we can continue forwards. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's build up a couple of construction districts. And Sargas Prime is almost ready. We have our defense buildings. Ah, here we go. So in my other personal playthrough, I was getting all these nice little intel technologies, and I was wondering when they were going to turn up here. So we have them here, and just like I said, we now need some rare crystals. So remove that, so we can now go back up to a positive gain per month. Come back here. Build a couple more construction districts. Oops, I did not mean to zoom into that. And the Mandosaurs have been alerted to our stuff again. Nope, but apparently that's all been smoothed over again. So, unlock the final tradition in the supremacy tree, and we have the option to have another ascension perk. So, we do have the option here to become the crisis. Just having a look. Now the thing is, usually I will wait until we have a couple of more appropriate research done and go for like engineered evolution. I'm not quite sure if we might be going for the flesh is weak, because obviously we are lithoid, so that might be of interest, because that will just hopefully make us more powerful, and then obviously we can go through to synthetic evolution. So mind over matter could be interesting, but we don't actually have the psionics yet. World shaper, need climate restoration, galactic force projection. I could go for eternal vigilance. I mean, I always, even when I go through and try and pick out like the best ones, I always end up with at least one ascension perk that I kind of have spare. Xenocompatibility, I know some people absolutely detest this, but I absolutely love it, because it's essentially gene tailoring, population manipulation for free. Because if you see that you've had two different species mix and bring out a really beneficial subspecies, then you can just select that one, tell them to apply that template to the entire population, and you have gene edited, for lack of a better word, species for almost nothing. Archaeology project, don't really want to bother with that. Galactic wonders, master builders. That's all okay. So yeah, maybe eternal vigilance when we need the Star Fortress technology, which I think we did see at some point. Well, UV lasers is just about to finish. This is going to be a exceedingly cold war, because we are basically just doing nothing. Yes, I'll go for the gravitic sensors and get ourselves potentially the listening post. And so for the Mandosaurus, a promising angle has been discovered which could be used for extortion. and the Raxicodium shortlist of targets has been drawn up. Those who are no longer tasked with surveillance will provide cover for the others. Again, perfectly fine as you are. And can upgrade our reassembled ship shelter to a planetary administration, which is going to take a bit over a year, but that's certainly worth doing. And yes, I'm just going through all of my territories to see if we've got anything that we potentially need. Probably.
War has been declared against us.
I thought that might happen. Yep, so they basically are coming in and they want a bunch of our territory. So they says that they are equivalent, but unfortunately I don't want to move my fleet from here because I know as soon as I do they are going to come in, and we are at 24% more exhaustion each. So honestly my best option is probably to go back here. I have 2 out of 6 defense platforms. I can do 3 more there. Go to the market. Go back up here, do that, build 1 more defense platform, and we have so much going on. Okay, confidence waivers. A group of auxiliary operatives in the United Raxicodium Confederation has begun shying away from their assigned tasks, citing a lack of confidence in their overall purpose. These operatives seem unusually well informed about Operation Acquire Asset and perhaps the spy network as a whole. So risks are too great, cut them loose. So we could lose 600 energy credits, lost auxiliary operatives for 12 months giving +2 operation difficulty. Or we can see where the insights may lead, which is a 2-to-1 chance of having panicked operatives versus unwavering insight. I'm going to let's see where these insights may lead, because this did happen on my personal playthrough and it is an interesting one, but nope, unfortunately. Yeah, so we get the lost auxiliary operatives modifier anyway, operation difficulty +2, which, well, the Raxicodians didn't have too great a defense against us anyway, so that's not anything too major. But it is a slight pain. So United Raxicodiums, as our operation nears its conclusion, Spymaster has moved to secure a new asset. So that is now done. So a successful execution. Our spy network now has access to an influential figure within Raxicodium culture whose desire to maintain their public profile pairs splendidly with ambitions we may wish to wield to manipulate hearts and minds. Excellent. So it looks like we have a bit more knowledge and intelligence about them, and we have a newscaster, a sympathetic voice in the media willing to spread our message in exchange for information. Now, let's just keep that there for now. And the Mandasura's sensitive information acquired. One of the autonomous drone leaders in the Mandasura collective has been exhibiting behaviour that suggests it sometimes strays from the will of the hive mind in pursuit of personal goals, such as the secret acquisition of small material possessions. If the mind learned of this, the repercussions for the drone would be severe. We could approach the drone and promise to keep our observations to ourselves in exchange for a few favours. So yes, get 1 favour to use on the Mandasuras. So let's go to the war. So let's see, diplomacy. No, unfortunately, that doesn't look like we can use the favour to preemptively end the war. So, unfortunately, we may just be sitting here and waiting for things to progress. I'm just trying to see, obviously, the Rayobs have been expanding up here, which I kind of expected. And just as I was saying that, they come forwards here and try to take the mining drones area. But hopefully we can either pull back and be able to defend at Sargas, and let's bump up Alioth while I think about it, upgrade that. So they have the potential to just completely bypass Sargas and go for Alioth and go deeper into our territory. But if I manage to build up Sargas as well, then I have potentially a good place and a good point where I can send in some reinforcements from. Let's see how we're doing with our rare materials. Market. Sell 2 exotic gases a month. Yep, I thought they were going to take that territory. Though if I'm lucky, there may be a war between them and the Raxicodiums. So do we actually have any information on... Nope, we have no idea on their fleet power, fleet strength. But I will be keeping an eye on that, because obviously if the Raxicodiums and them... Oh! I was going to say... okay, that feels a bit like a bug. So we have second-hand intel on their diplomatic pacts, but apparently we know, even though we don't know which empire they're at war against, because it's just a great big question mark, we apparently know enough that it is the Enarian Mirovandian confrontation. So the Raxicodiums and the Mirovandia Empire against the Inari Confederacy. So, remind me, we don't know the Inari. But let's see, trade deal, will you? Nope, you will not offer us communications. So we can't figure that out that way. But yeah, that feels a tiny bit like a bug, the fact that I can just hover over, and even though I don't know which empire it is, I know which war it is, which tells me what empire it is. Okay, what else is going on? So the this war against the Polvagavors is going to go absolutely brilliantly, because we are both at 40% war exhaustion. Neither of us have moved any of our fleets, and we are just sitting here waiting for the other to do something. Great job, guys. Excellent job. Okay, so that has worked on, so we will build a shipyard and a hangar bay there. And then just wait a tiny bit just to see what's going to happen. And they have done similar, so they have built up they've built up a starbase with a shipyard in it. So that is one that they've pushed forwards to try and obviously do the same as me, build up a frontier outpost defensive area and have a shipyard in there so it can reinforce. But I've got you beat, because I have 2 star bases that I can use. Send fleets through. Yes, I am really starting to feel the lack of available envoys in this, because this might just be because I'm playing as obviously a xenophobe empire, which you would think would obviously have fewer envoys available, but I'm really feeling the pinch of it because obviously I want to send one person here to know what they're doing, which I have. One person up here, which again I have. One person down here, which I had in the past but I haven't anymore. And one person here, which I haven't. I've only got the bare beginnings of the initial contact was initial contact intelligence information, whatever you want to call it, like that. Oh, there we go. They're 550 fleet power. Really, guys? You know, I'm kind of disappointed in this. I thought, obviously we'd be expanding our territory, which we have done, going through, fighting all of these wars, doing diplomatic or spy efforts, and we've had war declared on us, but we are just sitting here because we can't do anything else. Oh, experimental subspace navigation. So, solitary science ships can break out of the naturally occurring hyperlanes and attempt to navigate to known but otherwise unreachable destinations. I think I will try and upgrade our shields, and again just stay on the technology screen because we have the colonial bureaucracy coming in 3 months' time. 550 fleet power, and that is just once again standing there. Okay, now I'm starting to think, is that they honestly, the AI is telling them to wait there, or is this a bug? I'm not sure. Okay, we are slightly losing on the war exhaustion. So,
Construction complete.
okay, let's reinforce that fleet. Hopefully get up a few more destroyers. Of course I said we were going to wait on the technology screen and then I flicked away from it, but never mind. So go for more society research. See if we can get a few more alloys to bump up this fleet again. So we can go up to 402. Yes, this just feels a tiny little bit tense, but hopefully we will be able to just settle the status quo on this. How many claims can I make against you? Basically I can claim all of the territory that I am aware of for 594. Cancel that for the time being. Okay, so this says I have 2,136 military power with 10 destroyers out of a maximum of 14. Oh, okay, it says I have 2,100 fleet power, but on the numbers here, that's like 1,500. That doesn't make much sense to me. Oh, anyway, one more destroyer coming through. Oh, our operatives in the Mandasura Collective have now covered rumours that the Provalgavor Mercantile Union are planning to deceive us. We have no exact details of their apparent scheme, but it seems set to try and undermine us and our way of life. Quite how this information came to be known by the Mandasuras is unclear. Probably because they're friends and they absolutely hate our guts. Our own operatives' efforts to tail suspected Mandasuran intelligence operatives seems to have paid off. If this intelligence is genuine, the Mandasura may have just done the hard work for us. So, our opinion of the Provalgavor Mercantile Union changes by -80. We gain 206 unity. And Provalgavor Mercantile Union, the event implicated in a plot, happens in 1 day. Okay, so we are losing basically half a mineral a month. Let's turn that down a tiny bit. Turn that down a bit more, because apparently it decided to recalculate and say we were losing even more a month. That's better. So now we are gaining not quite 1 a month. I seriously think that they are just bugged, because this should not be happening. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to send this fleet through. Not you guys. Not you. Just you.
Rocking up to enemy flank.
Okay, they're already down to 1.4. So 1.3, we're 1.4. This might be quite close. We're both losing a fair amount of fleets quite at the same time. I just saw one of theirs blink out. Got a few more retreating, surrendering. Okay. That's us technically won on that one. Okay, so we have the opportunity to pop open a new tradition tree. So do we go for expansion? What do we get? Colony development speed, mere blockers, mining stations, mineral consumption or adaptability. It's like available envoys, habitability. I think it's like habitability for lithoids doesn't really mean anything. Resettlement cost reduced by 33%. Governor level cap, extra buildings. Generally, like depending on when you set things, by the mid game you really tend to open up each one of these anyway, so it's more a factor of which one do you open, because which one is most important to you. And doesn't really look like prosperity is either. Harmony, going for that one would be quite ironic given the the fact that we're xenophobic, militaristic, So leader lifespan plus 20 years. Time it takes for unemployed pops to demote to a lower stratum reduced by 25%. Gathering ethics attraction increased by 25%. Stability by plus 5%. See, it's like the harmony tree is quite interesting, but pretty much, in my opinion, for that one only, and that's only for defensive wars. So I've already looked at adaptability, I've already looked at that one, expansion, starbase influence, pop growth speed, starbase. Okay, yep, we're gonna go for the expansion tree. And for that, and we might as well just take out the outpost while we're here. Take over this system. And move on to the next one and just take that. And then we can retreat back. Yeah. Seriously. This must be a bug, they must be stuck, because otherwise I just can't explain why this would be happening. There's nothing to worry about on that. It is just a simple outpost, so we should be able to take it no problem. Okay, yep. So settle status quo. Send that through. That has been accepted by them. We have 2 new territories in our system. How much is this? A 1.2. So if I send you up to Katana, which is your home station, because you've taken a few losses, I can turn down the amount of corvettes. Then I can hopefully repair you a tiny bit. Go down to this place, upgrade the spaceport. Get a few more. That, add in another defense platform. Okay, so okay, seeing as I'm basically just sitting here on a bunch of influence anyway, it's just and nothing. I'm sorry. Oh, whoops. I undid all of my claims. Okay, that would explain it. Yep. Make those claims. Apparently you have... Oh yes, because you're up here, aren't you? Yes. You apparently have claims to a couple of the systems. Unpause the game. Go back to the market. Turn that down a bit. Remove that because we seem to be earning enough alloys on our own anyway. fleet should be being repaired. Okay, there we go. Okay, no, you did not invite them. But you are in a couple of other wars. Okay, that might explain why you were so hesitant then. Because you're in a war against me, but you're also in a war against the guys up north. And you're also in a war against the Rayups. New empire discovered. So, Irenic bureaucracy, Federation builders. So where are you guys? All the way over here. So basically through one of these two guys, I presume. So most of you are being upgraded without issue. Just taking a moment to think, how should I progress this? Where should I go? What should I probably do? So the best thing is probably to, at the very least, push through, especially seeing as, yes, yeah, the Desticans definitely have a claim on that territory there, so I need to try and push forward on mine. The good thing is, I think, because we've or settled for white peace against this empire here, it's like their fleets aren't going to be like aggressive against ours. So I think even though we're like obviously going through and taking territory, I'm not quite sure that they can take it back. I think it may just be the Mandasuras that can come and attempt to take back their territory, which, seeing as they are fighting two other wars against as well as ours, I'm not quite sure they'll be really able to do that. So, fully occupied. Though we do have a situation where obviously we are going to need to recruit 4, 5, 6 assault armies, because we do have at least one planet. Okay, we now have information on that. We can claim that bit of territory. Do we have a science ship that is handily... Okay, not really handily nearby, but I can send them over there to have a look at the debris. Okay, what does this place have? 2 gun batteries and a crew quarters. Okay, I mean, well, either the Mandasuras were silly enough to declare war upon me when they were already in at least one war, or they decided to declare war on me and everyone around them decided that it would be the perfect time to up and try and claim some of their territory, which honestly I can't really blame them because I'd just do exactly the same thing. Okay, so you have quite a deficit of minerals, so if we put up a couple of mineral buildings there, and yes, similarly here, and also one city district. Okay, I don't think I will come through and try.
Starbase under attack.
Okay, maybe they can come. No? No, because they don't seem to be doing anything.
Station under attack.
Are they? No, they're just warping out. Okay then. Alright. So we have quite a few different ones here, plus a proper actual station. So we have a transport fleet, new research done, shielding. There we go. Actual intelligence spy network stuff, quantum hacking, code breaking +2, and Bureau of Espionage, which gives us +1 envoy, +2 to our -2 to our operation difficulty, and +10 to our base intel level. Okay then.
Stone's turn.
Actually no, I think cancel that, seeing as you're sending the bulk of your fleet up here, which is potentially a very silly move. I will park my assault army up here. Let's see, where is your home planet? Up here. Armies. Oh, 2 armies. Yes, that is going to do a lot of damage. What do we have here? Debris analyze, so disruptors, afterburners, cold fusion, power, and some physics and engineering research points. Let's see if we can actually come up here without being attacked. Scientist has gained a level. Yes, you are coming back, okay. Oh, I think I am, yep, pretty close to warping through. So, presuming nothing too bad happens, I can actually go for the status quo and take the territory that I have claimed. Oh, I am just tearing through those ships and fleets. It's a minor slowdown in the game, but... And, oh my god. Why do you have 6 different transport fleets? Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything, though we may be losing this. I have 1 ship coming in to reinforce, which is probably not going to be enough. Maybe that may have either turned the tide or just been a coincidence, but we are battling our way through. I see a side ship coming back up. No, mate, that's not going to be... That's not going to do anything. We've gotten the society research. you know what, I'm getting fed up of that one just hanging around, so I'm going to research it and get it out the way. Okay, and we have successfully won that. So let's start bombarding that planet. So merge those two and recruit ourselves a general. So we have butcher, yes, let's just go for logistics for the current time being. Yep, new one that's just popped in is pretty much the same, just another logistician.
Research complete.
Oh, this has been quite an interesting... Oh. Ah, okay, I know why that popped up, because obviously we just researched a bunch of stuff and that had told us that we've completed something.
Rocket new tech.
There we go, that's what I was waiting for. So we have some more code breaking, basic combat roles. Yep, let's just keep on working down on that. Oh yes, I don't have a spy network on you because obviously we've only just met. Well, okay, we've not only just met. But we haven't really been trying to gain any intel on you. Okay, claims. Okay, transport fleet. And that should be merging. And we can come in here, land our armies. Okay, that is our science ship coming in and scanning that debris. Let's see what... Okay, we've got a couple of our construction ships which are pretty much just completely... Yeah, if I just tell you to go and orbit the nearest territory, because I don't think we really need you much, but so one of our armies is involved in invasion, and we've got a tiny bit towards antimatter power.
Enemy colony has corrupted.
And our general now has the adaptable trait. We have successfully invaded that planet, so let's move down to the next one.
Research complete.
That's gotten rid of that research, and we have gene modification. Okay, you know what? I'm going for it. So, merchant ships, new archaeological project in Ziamon 1. Let's wait because I cannot remember where that is. Ah, right here. So we have our science ship assisting research, but let's just come over, send them over here and do their work. You are analysing that debris as well. We have reached 100% war exhaustion, so have they. Let's honestly just see if we can push through and get this. That's fully occupied. Come down here. And yes, I am basically just going to be keeping it down to the wire. We have a peace offer, which is status quo. Going to decline that. Following their recent sensor sweep, the Admiral has learned how to deploy the units, so they now have the scout trait. Nice! They are working really well.
Gravel recovered.
So another bit of progress towards antimatter power. Okay, I don't think we'll be able to take this from the others, but it will be nice to at least investigate into there and see where we are going and see. I don't think they have any territory expanding beyond this, but between us and the Desticans we may have not exterminated the Mandragoras, but certainly made them a lot more vulnerable in the galactic community. So 30% towards cold fusion power and a few more engineering points. So 495 days until forced peace is possible.
Innovation rollout.
New research. Okay, yeah, why not? Why not go down the path of potentially 2 different ascension areas? And okay, nope, doesn't look like we can attack that because we would obviously be, or at least be aware of some kind. So, seeing as we've actually managed to do it, let's go for achieve war goals. And the Rayobs have claimed Alios, as I thought they might. So, the nation formerly known as the Mandasora Collective has been destroyed by its enemies. And we apparently have a new strategic resource. Oh, yes, we have 6 rare crystals. Oh, right, okay. So we are going to need to reinforce this area. Upgrade that. I believe declare rivalry, which means they will not be able to come into our territory. So it's an alpine world, but survey and survey that. And you come in, survey that. Construction ship, send one up here and one up here, and I think that is the point where we will leave it for today. That has been quite a an interesting little area, let's just say. Why are you saying that you're not connected to the trade network? Okay, we have we are purging all of the Mandasaras, which I'm not sure if that is going to be an interesting, because they are very strong. Ground communal species. Let's see. No, we won't set them as undesirables. Oh wait, these mindless drones cannot be integrated into society, so okay. So yeah, we've just basically doomed the Mandasaras to extinction. Good to know. But anyway, we will, I think, leave it there. We have gained quite a bit of territory compared to the beginning of the episode, and next we are probably, if I actually put things, we should have a free envoy. We can put someone in here to start spying on them, because I feel like they are going to be an aggravation to me, seeing as we were basically both at war against the Mandasaras, and we kind of accidentally took them on together, though we have our own our own reasons for doing so. And then we have the Rayobs, who are also going to be aggravating, and they have decided to start claiming some of our territory for their own. So we'll probably have to start reinforcing and sending fleets back down here again as well. So victory, we have won that. Ah, that was what it was. We have Joe. Nice. Now, I don't think we have any black holes really within our reach. Not as far... Okay, the closest one is Devil's Maw over here in Raxacodium territory, so I don't think we will worry about that. But we have some Zhro, requires Zhro distillation technology, but if we can get that, we almost have every single one of the main rare materials that we can get. But anyway, like I said, I think I will leave it here. This has been slightly longer than anticipated, slightly longer than I was planning, but I honestly couldn't leave it where we were with that war. So I will sign off for today. Thank you very much all for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.